Today I'm going to show you the top 5 things that I take out while I'm cutting wood. Let's get out in the woods and I'll explain to you why these items are so important. The first item is your chainsaw multi-tool. This is a must-have if you have to make any adjustments on your saw while you're out cutting wood. First thing I like to do is check my saw once I get out to the woods. So I'm going to use my multi-tool on my saw. I'm going to loosen up my nut. Just check that chain tightness. Adjust as necessary. Tighten that guy back up and we're good to go. The second item is your file. In between every tank of gas, I like to sharpen my blade to make sure that I have a super sharp blade while I'm cutting all day long. This is a must-have. It's something that you can do quick and easy while you're out in the woods. Make sure that you have the correct file for your chain size for your saw. And we're going to go out here and see if we can't find something to cut. Looks like we got a small tree down right here. We're going to go limb this tree. Number 3 is an axe. This is a must-have out in the woods. While I'm cutting wood and I fell a tree, I like to go around and knock all the limbs off first. When I'm out cutting, I like to knock all the limbs off the log so I can take my saw and go down the full length of the log without interruption. Alright, the old Husqvarna 450 Rancher makes short work of that little log. The fourth item is a log roller. This is a necessity out in the woods while cutting. Lots of times when you're felling a tree, if you're in the middle of the woods, a tree will like to get hung up in an adjoining tree, and a lot of times you can take this log roller and spin the log right out of the other tree and onto the ground. It's much safer than taking a chainsaw and trying to cut logs out of it and get the tree on the ground. I do not go out in the woods without taking my log roller with me every single time, even if I'm cutting a small amount of wood or a large amount of wood. All right, we're gonna get to cutting up some of this wood here so we can get it loaded and back up to the house. Let's go.
Let me know, do you feel me too? Let it show.
Time to start hauling.
Babe, I'm into you. We've been on and off, in and out, up and down, too many times. Now it's time. Show me what you got. Some say that it's the little things. I say that it's a big old ring. Anything that I hear you say, I do. It ain't the way that you see me.
Load 55.
You know, the nice thing about this dead down ash, it's dry. I can split this right now and go throw it in the wood stove, burn it right away. There's no seasoning or curing of this wood, so it's super beneficial to us on the homestead that we can come out here when it's cooler, cut wood right away, and burn it right away too. We don't have to store it for a year. Besides being cooler when we're cutting, it's also nice that the poison ivy dies off a little bit. All these woods in here with all this dead down, all the sunlight gets down to the bottom of the forest and the poison ivy takes off. And to get in here and cut in the summer or the warmer months, it's almost impossible if you have any kind of reaction to poison ivy. So we like to cut when it's kind of died off a little bit. It's cooler and it's a lot more enjoyable experience cutting wood that way, let me tell you. We got everything loaded up that we're going to cut today. We're going to head back up to the house and get this unloaded. Fifth item is a wedge. This wedge has saved me many times out in the woods. If you get a saw stuck in a log, you can put the wedge in the crack and at least get your saw back out. The other nice thing about having a wedge with you is if you're felling trees and you need to aim the tree in a direction that the tree doesn't want to go, you can take your wedge and put in the kerf, and then you take your axe, this is why I have the axe as well, and you use it on the back and pound it in. This is why I use a single bladed axe and I take out with me instead of a double bladed, so I don't have to take a sledgehammer or another tool with me. I can use my axe, my wedge, pound it in, get my saw out, aim a tree. We got a little bit of wood cut today. It's probably about enough for 2 weeks for us here. We've got a smaller stove. It heats the house really well. So we don't need cords and cords of wood. So we just try to go out once a weekend or so, cut a truckload, come back, put it up. We're not killing ourselves and getting, all exhausted out cutting the wood all at one time. So I know it takes a little bit longer. That's kind of how we do it around here. Thanks for following along, guys. I hope these 5 items are going to help you when you go out and cut wood next time at your place. We'll catch you on the next one. Hey guys, one last thing I want to show you right here. I have a Fisker's splitting maul, and I highly recommend getting one of these yourselves. I don't even own a splitter. For as much wood as I split, I can split wood faster with this splitting maul than I can with a big 20-ton splitter. So you guys might want to invest in it. They're a little bit pricier, but they're well worth it. Bonus item, broom for when you're done and you can sweep out the back of your box in your truck.